Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Talking Reds, where we've been the latest Liverpool news, transfer news, and obviously right now, the breaking news. The breaking news on Alexander Isak. It's going to keep coming out throughout the week, and it now is about Alexander Isak, whether it's going to come to Liverpool or not, because this is going into the last week of the transfer window, and it is certainly spicing up right now. Alexander Isak to Liverpool. Is it off? Is it on? That is the nagging question of the week. Can it happen? Well, if it doesn't happen, according to the latest reports, the breaking news reports, is that Liverpool do not have a plan B if it doesn't happen. Ian Doyle was one that came out the first one to say earlier on. Then we've had a little bit more breaking news recently with Craig Hope and more. So I want to speak to what Ian Doyle came out and said. So Isak looks like is going to come to Anfield sooner rather than later, and there have been certain signs of Newcastle's resolve weakening in recent days. So that's a big moment in that. Might a £330 million deal sort it? It wouldn't be a shock. So we've been basically saying about £330 million, haven't we, Naj? That's what we've been talking about anyway. But then he also went on to say every club has a contingency plan. There's a nagging suspicion Liverpool are intent on signing Alexander Isak and won't settle for anyone else. Don't be surprised if there is no plan B. So that's brilliant news that Ian Doyle came out earlier on saying that, Newcastle could be weakening on their stance. £130 million could do it. But then he also went on to say, well, if we don't get him, there's no plan B.
Yeah, it's Liverpool though, isn't it? Like, you can't really, we don't. I mean, we have done, but we don't really go for risks under Michael Edwards and, Richard Hughes now. But Michael Edwards just sort of, we all know he's sort of a data guru, or his team are a data guru. And, I don't believe that Liverpool would just sign someone on a whim. Like when we had the George Schamack and Julian Ward, I sort of felt like players were signed because, they might fit that position or fit that period of time. By the way, George Schamack obviously brought in McAllister and Szoboszlai, but I mean, you don't need.
Never do it.
I mean, you don't need data to know that they're good players. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a given. I think we took a big risk on Núñez, which didn't pay off in the end. I mean, got most of the money we paid for him. But when in terms of Michael Edwards, he doesn't miss, does he? I can't. Under Klopp, especially, like I can't name more than maybe possibly with the exception of Naby Keita, probably the one. Maybe Solanke.
He was here for the defensive situation, wasn't he, when we left short in defence?
Yeah.
We got Kabak and Davis in
January. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's his fault, because I think if he had the option, he wouldn't have gone out Konate.
If he had the money to do it, yeah.
Yeah, he would have gone and got it. Like I think he's not that type of director. Like he would have. I know he would have done, because what did he do in the summer? He literally went and got Konate. So, yeah. I mean, I like him. I think we don't miss in terms of our transfers are probably the best in terms of big player transfers. You look at Chelsea, you look at United, the amount of big players, money spent on players they bring in, and they don't come out good. I mean, even City as well, like Nico Gonzalez, like, he's good, let's ship him off straight away. Like, he's not good enough. I think with us, we're so measured, so I can see we're not as having a replacement for Isak, which is sound, I'd suppose. But it's just whether. I mean, I think if he doesn't come now, and I think he'll come before the window closes, I'm still adamant on that. But if he doesn't, if there's that possibility that he doesn't come before the window closes, he'll be coming in January. It's just how long can Liverpool sustain having a man short in attack? Or
not even just a man short. I think we're 2 men short.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
One striker, 2 right wingers. You'd say if Chiesa stays, 2 left wingers, but one's a 16-year-old.
Yeah. 17 now.
17 now. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, still not even out yet. So it's a very, very dangerous game. And this is not us saying, if we don't get Isak, that's it. Don't get Isak at all. Yes, we can wait for Isak. It's the exact same situation we had in 2021. We got rid of Lovren. We didn't have any defenders in there. But we're also we're looking at Konate. We're waiting for Konate. Okay, we can wait for Konate. It's fine. Wait till next year for Konate. Go get Konate. But in the meantime, we still need someone else to come in. We went into a season with 3 centre backs. I keep saying about this, and people say, "Oh, well, FSG did this and did that." We're waiting for Canate. They said, "Oh, we're waiting for Canate." But are you willing to just write off a season for waiting for one player? No. That's the question I'm asking you, because that's what happened that season. We wrote off that season. We were top of the league. We had a couple of injuries to centre back. Yes, the only one that you could say Van Dijk was a bit unlucky. That was a freak accident. Well, whatever pick for what we're doing. There was a freak injury that doesn't happen to Van Dijk. It doesn't happen to players often. But Matip and Gomez at the time, they were injury prone. They was expected to get injured. So we went into that season unprepared. We went in very, very short. And we use this, waiting for Canate. That's bollocks. I can't sit here and gaslight you guys and say that's okay. It's not okay. Okay, we can go wait for Isak. But if we're left short, and luckily it's good that Ektika has hit the ground running, so it doesn't look as bad. But we still are short in that area. And it takes one injury, and it's up in the air again. And Salah's in AFCON.
You know what? That. I would definitely say, so the signings we've made already, to not continue to strengthen would be almost like a disservice to them we've brought in, because you've brought, I'm going to say it, Liverpool are a super team. They are, we are, we are, but it's almost like turning around to them new signings. If you're going to wait for someone, I get that's what happens in football, but if we almost turn around and go, right, we want to sort of save 30 million for Isak or something. This is an example. We know how FSG work well up until this season, but say 30 million you get me in January. Someone said that to, I don't know, one of the directors at Liverpool or something like that, or some of the transfer committee. If we do that, then we're sort of, lads, you've got a bit more of a task on your hand here, and that's what you do at big football clubs anyway. But we're not almost giving you the tools to flourish. You know what I mean? Liverpool are a super, super team as it is. We've got Van Dijk, we've got Salah, we've got Alisson, we've got McAllister, we've got Gravenberch, we've got Gakpo, we've got all these fantastic players already. The new players that come in, if you're not going, right, from the start of the window, we've wanted Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz. We've wanted them from the start of the window. If you don't deliver one of them, then it's almost like, we're leaving you short, and it's not fair. I don't think it's not fair on the team. It's not fair on the players who've committed to Liverpool over the last. I'm mainly aiming at Salah and Van Dijk. I don't think
he's committed to the 2 years. Yeah.
So there's no excuse not to wait. I think the issue is, though, Damon, you'll probably agree with me with this, is I don't think Liverpool have gone around. I'm not talking about Guéhi. I think Guéhi's obtainable at any single window. But I think the way Liverpool have gone around the Isak scenario, there's been absolutely nothing wrong with it. The issue's been Newcastle from the start to now has been Newcastle. They've not been able to sign players. They're a mess in terms of the transfer committee. I don't even know who the sporting director is. I don't know whether that's.
I don't think they have one.
Yeah, I don't think they have one. Amanda Staveley went. They've obviously not promised Isak what he wanted to do, which I presume was to go and speak to clubs after, the season's finished. And they've almost done Isak a disservice. That's why he's acted the way he has. Liverpool have done nothing wrong in this scenario. And I think when you look at it, like, if you look at it from like a I don't know, like if you went back in 3-4 weeks, if Newcastle managed to get one of them signings over the line. Let's say, for example, the Visser's done and Seshko's done now. Let's say they've got them done. Isak would be a Liverpool player right now. The downfall is what Newcastle have done. Liverpool have done nothing wrong. And if this means they're going to keep Isak, that is nothing to do with Isak. The way he's acted is probably okay in terms of what they've done now. I don't agree with it, but the way they've acted, the way they've not been able to sign players, the way they're lowballing on Visser, stuff like that. That's the reason Liverpool know they can get Alexander Isak for 130 million, and I'll fall on that sword. I don't care. Like, I know they will, and the way Newcastle have gone about the transfer business, it's just made that I don't know. I'll ask you this question: do you think they're one of the things they're hanging on to Isak for is because as soon as that money hits them, team's going to put 20 mil on a player? Do you think it's that?
there's probably a part to that. I can understand that. I can understand that. As soon as they get the money, like everyone's decided. But Brentford have already done that to him with Visser. So whether Visser is expected, if Brentford are expecting Isak to go, and they put the 20 million on Visser on purpose. But that's just football, isn't it? That's just the way of life. At the end of the day, he said it last night. If they do sell him, it goes like they've got like 200, 300 million to spend potentially.
Exactly.
So I don't think 20 million is going to be that bad, if I'm honest. Essex Red here said John Henry put an end to it, found his wallet again, credit cards cancelled. He's rang up the fraud team. After Monday, Liverpool must put an offer in. No deal, call it a day. Our squad weaker than last year. Not looking good. VVD said a big summer so far. It isn't. It has been a big summer in terms of the players that we have got. We've actually gone and got some brilliant signings, and quite a lot of them. We've made like 5-6 signings, tops. But it's the fact that we've let so many go at the same time.
Yeah.
And we are short. And we have got a weaker squad from last season.
This is the issue. This is what I said last night. If we'd have kept Diaz, I'd have been saying we're having a 9 out of 10 window now, 10 out of 10 window. If we'd have kept Diaz.
Even Quanta, really.
Yeah, but we haven't. We've not kept them players. We sold them all. We made a humongous profit on both of them players. You know, Quanta come through the academy. We've literally made £34 million on him. You know, I don't know. We made Diaz about 25 mil, something like that on Diaz. Something lines of that. You know, we've made huge money on them players. Like that's like that is the transfer, half the transfer fee for Isak. And you know, I always put it down to like Liverpool have been a selling club in the past, and you know we do balance the books well. You know, the three players that we've let go, Quanta, Diaz, Nunez. That is the complete transfer fee for Isak, and it's done. That's it. That's it. And then there's no talking about it. And then, like I said, Guéhi's. I think Guéhi's like one. I think we'll sign Guéhi. I think we'll sign both of them, but I think Guéhi's obviously going to be the easier one to buy, isn't he? Like, you know, Paris has already come out and said, yeah, we're going to sell him. Liverpool seems to be the only team. I wouldn't say only team interested. There's obviously other clubs, but it seems that Guéhi's head is set on joining Liverpool, isn't it? Like he wants to join us, and you know, I think it's just a question of shortening the deal on Liverpool.
What makes Isak? What makes Guéhi signing easy? Obviously, the money is not as much. Number one, number two, Palace are willing to sell right now without having to get someone else in.
That's actually a bargain. What we're going to get Guéhi for?
I think it is. I think I said that yesterday.
Anything below 60 million is a bargain for Guéhi. Like I think even if it was like 58 million, I'd still be like, that sound. He's that good. And you know, I'm trying to think who's just signed a really expensive defender this season in the Prem. I can't think for the life of me who it is.
A defender?
Yeah, it's not coming to my brain. Someone signed anyone, but like it's more than what we pay for Guéhi.
Bournemouth signed a couple, didn't they? Because Bournemouth had to replace a couple they lost.
Yeah, am I thinking of last season? My head's gone into one.
Did Bournemouth sign Diakite?
Diakite? It could be Diakite. I think Diakite's 47 mil, wasn't he?
It was something, yeah, something quite high. Yeah, could be that.
Guéhi's better. Like, it's the simple of it. Like, I mean, even you look like in the last few years, Chelsea spent a fortune on players at centre back. Like, I don't know, they played Cucurella there sometimes. I mean, Guéhi's still better than him. Yeah, I think it's a bargain. It's a bargain getting him for. And I think just the issues with the Isak deal, I don't, you know, like how people keep like, it's obviously the big news and stuff at the minute. And I think that like, you know, it's sort of benefiting Liverpool in the way that they can like sort of get the Guéhi done stuff behind closed doors. I think that's what's been happening, by the way. I really do. I think that's been happening behind closed doors because there's actually really no coverage on the Guéhi deal, is there? Really?
No, not really. No, I think it's one of them where we've bidded for him. It's been accepted. And it's done pretty much. Yeah.
And I think don't they play the second leg of the Europa Conference?
It'd be Thursday, yeah. It'd be Thursday. So we won 1-0, didn't they, in the first leg? So I can imagine him wanting to keep Guéhi for that.
After that, and he's
get him through. Obviously, they won 1-0. Frederick start, I think, from Norway that they played.
Yeah.
1-0, which is not a scoreline that's definitely through. So they've got to go to Norway now, and hopefully get a result. I hope they do get a result. They definitely deserve European football. I hope they do go through because they should be in Europa League, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So I hope they do go through and Guéhi can lead them on the high.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what they're sort of looking at. It's funny, isn't it? Because like I think these two transfers have got such similarities in terms of Newcastle have almost been the last couple of weeks. They could have sold these last week. Let's be honest. He's thrown his toys out the pram. He's burnt all the bridges. You know, Liverpool turned around and went, "We're going to put you back that 110 mil offer in." I think they probably did turn around and said, "Yeah," you know what I mean? Because it's just a disaster, isn't it? What's going on with them? I always feel like they're both holding off. So like, Isak doesn't play for Newcastle against them.
Imagine if we made the bid like a half time. I'm sorry, but that would be actually good mind games, you know, from Liverpool's point of view.
It exploded, yeah. Isak just looks at his phone.
What I'm saying is, like, if it's done at half time, the players are going to know about it at half time, or like just during like the first half, so they find out at half time.
Yeah,
that could win the game mentally for Liverpool, you know, because their heads will explode at half time.
I think Tuesday morning we'll go in for a bid. I think that'll be we'll play the game on Monday. And I think Tuesday, latest Wednesday, a bid will go in from Liverpool because we can't mess about now. We've got to do it. We've got to just go. Here's the money, bang, throw it in. Like I do think the Guéhi deal's done, but I don't know. We asked this last night, and we started the stream saying Liverpool only go for targets that they want, and you know, fill in a void. We don't really do that, do we? Much, but.
It's not even the fact that we need to fill a void, really. Even if we don't get Isak, for me, it's not about getting another striker. It's about getting a forward, because I think we need two forwards. It's about getting a forward that can possibly play up front. Because Guéhi can go up front if he wants to be. Salah could possibly go up front if it needs to be.
Gakpo.
Gakpo has plenty of times up front as needs to be. We just need another forward regardless.
Personally, like I've been looking into it the last like 24 hours, just like sort of looking at things and like. And you know, I'm going to say the name Rodrigo, and I think
like a loan deal because someone mentioned that makes so much sense.
It does. It makes perfect sense. Like obligation to buy after the loan and stuff. Like I think, you know, the way I've looked at it is like sort of if Liverpool retain the title this year, we don't get Isak right now in September. We don't get him. You know, if we get Rodrigo in on loan, we get through to January and we're still looking pretty at the top of the league. We bring Isak in, and then the next half of the season, you know, I'm speaking like I don't like to speak like this because I don't like to like big my own club up like this much, but I have to because we're that good. You know what I mean? But you get to like, you know, Isak if he comes in like January, or even if he comes in next summer, you know, we've got Rodrigo in, and if we win the league, or the Premier League, or the Champions League, and say that fee for Rodrigo 60 million, it's paid for already because we've got the success that we've warranted for that, and I think it makes so much sense to just do that Rodrigo deal. I mean, I think I've read it's like £20 million loan fee or something with like obligation to buy for 60, which is actually, I mean, a 24-year-old Rodrigo, that's a good deal, isn't it? It's like 20 mil. It's good. It's really good.
We've already been at world-class levels. We've played at world-class levels already, to me.
Yeah.
Will, sorry. I actually asked myself the same question, mate. Why such low likes? 1.28k subs and 5 likes. I mean, our likes on the last few videos we've been doing not been that high, really, but we're still getting the view. The views are all right, but like I don't like really asking for likes. I don't really like. I see it as like a begging thing, but you know, if it just reminds people to like the video, then it helps. For me, I don't know, but yeah, if you can like the video, I'm not begging here or anything like that because I don't like to even think like that. But yeah, if you can like the video, please hit the likes. It does really help us out massively. What it does, it pushes us out into other people's home pages so they can click on, they can watch us ourselves, push us out there and helps us out massively. It takes 2 seconds to do it and it's free. It doesn't cost anything. I want to give you the daily content as much as we can, the breaking news when we can as well. All you have to do is just like the video and subscribe if you are new. Hi, David. How are you? Isak should be going to Liverpool now. Wissa and Sorloth and Nicholas Jackson and add-ons for Jackson deal to Newcastle United. Said add. I'd be surprised if they got 3. They can't get 1 deal done, if I'm honest. I'd be surprised they got Wissa, Sorloth and Jackson. I think it's also an option for them, but I don't think I've not seen any concrete option. I've not seen any concrete links to Sorloth. But I think the likely 2 to happen, I said that the other day, would be probably Wissa and Jackson.
I think
they've got a straight shot at Jackson now.
Yeah, like it's with Jackson, it's like Chelsea are almost going, come and buy him. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't want him. We've got 17 1,000 strikers, so just come buy him. Well, how much did they load the valuation in? It's 60 mil now, isn't it? Something.
Yeah. They have loaded because they wanted 80 million, didn't they? 70, 80 million. Which is ridiculous.
If they go and buy Visser and Jackson, they've spent 90 million on two. But sorry, hang on, what's he going for, Visser? I think they'll get Visser for I think they're going to come down to 50, aren't they, or something like that? With Visser. Let's say they get him for 50 mil. 110 mil for Jackson and Visser. That's sound, isn't it? You can't complain. You can't complain at that when you're desperate. You know what I mean? They're desperate for players. Do it.
Latest updates on scores as well. Crystal Palace have beaten Forest 1-0 and Everton have beaten Brighton 1-0 for your early scores today. Source very close to 300. I'd said Rodrigo isn't leaving. We need to let that go. I saw that the other day, actually, and that's why I mentioned it the other day, that he might actually not go yet. But like I said, I've always said, look, if 300 show a little inkling that they want to keep Rodrigo, he stays because he's always wanted to stay. Rodrigo agent trying to sell him to Liverpool and Isak is a priority. Surely they can sign Wissa, Larson, or they could do it, or they're doing it on purpose. I think the Larson one's a bit difficult because the Wolves are not even listening to anything at the moment about Larson. They've just lost Cunha as well. Got to remember that. And Larson literally is the only player they've got at the moment up front. If Richard Hughes at the game, deal done. A deal is on. If Richard Hughes is at the game, you better protect him because Newcastle fans will be having him. They'll be having him. They won't want to see him at that game. But yeah, let's go on to the other breaking news as well, because there was two breaking news coming out. Was obviously Ian Dorr was the first one, and then Craig Hope obviously has been a very, very well-known journalist, especially this summer regarding this deal. Has been on it all the time throughout the summer. It is very unlikely that Newcastle signed two strikers before the window. That is what he has said. It was in a reply to someone on Twitter, and he said it's very unlikely that they do sign two strikers. But he also said earlier on Sky Sports that somewhere around £130 million plus could be enough if Newcastle get their replacements. It's pretty much the same as always, isn't it? It's seemingly like Newcastle will let him go if they get replacements in and we pay a substantial fee. I don't think we need 150. I've said this all along. 130 do it, maybe plus add-ons. And they need to get replacements. But now Craig Hope said it's unlikely they get the two signings. Do you think one signing could be enough?
Yeah. Look, if we've got, and this is by no means I'm saying that Newcastle are finished or rubbish or small or anything like that. You know, if we are sort of in the market to get Isak and we're giving you 130 million, that, like I said before, it's nothing to do with us. We've gone and got our striker. You know, we got Ekatike. We're going to get our other striker, which is Isak. It's their problem that they've not signed another striker. So, you know, if we can almost do it with Ekatike and not have Isak till January, I'm sure they can do exactly the same thing. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they obviously got. I mean, I'm saying that they've run Europe for the first time in a season and they've not strengthened at all. But what's this Shula? They're all going about how good he is. Like, give him a chance, eh? You know what I mean? It might surprise you. I'm not. That's not being patronising or something. But
I think Jackson will do well at Newcastle.
I do. We said this, didn't we? We think they'll be like, you know, I think people are so like on Jackson to like he's bad, he's really bad. He's first touch.
He's not even that bad. I just think he's not worked at Chelsea. At the end of the day, sometimes it don't work at places.
But he's like you said, and I agree with this. He's at Newcastle. He's the man, isn't he? He's going to be the man. And like at Chelsea, he isn't. Like Chelsea, there's no main man. There's like I don't even know. I don't even know who the main man is. It was Palmer. Now it's not. Now it's going to be João Pedro.
Well, yeah, they ain't got a striker that's the main man, is it? The Palmer is the main man, but then the strikers are sort of like there and thereabouts. But they've actually got well-paid to each striker now in terms of João Pedro and Liam Delap, by the way.
Yeah.
So, did they play Liam Delap on the wing the other day? They played both of them, did they?
I couldn't really work out where he was playing, to be honest. It was a bit.
They played them both, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean he's all right off the left actually. Liam Delap, considering his size and stuff, he's not too bad. I think he played João Pedro, didn't he? At first of all, I think João Pedro was in behind where Palmer would be playing, and I think he went with Delap up front, and he kind of like rotated a little bit, didn't he?
Well, that's a big risk for us, Badro. AFCON's a big risk for us. If we don't bring in a striker, or not a striker, if we don't bring another forward that can play up front or can play across the front three, then Salah's going to AFCON. We've got to remember that. Salah's going to AFCON. He's out for 6-7 games, I think, tops, potentially.
December, and it's just December games.
Yeah, but does it go into January? Then? I'm sure it goes into January if he goes into stages.
I'm sure it's earlier this year. I know that it's usually.
I'm sure I saw like 6 or 7 games could miss up to.
Well, I think we play. I think we play the same team twice in December. It could be Sunderland or something. But yeah, our Christmas period, I think we've got 7 games till January. So it could be overlap the first week of December and go into January, yeah, which is, I don't know I can't remember exactly who we've got on the first week into the new year. But yeah, I mean, it's happened for us for a long time. You know, we had Mane, Salah, Naby Keita, you know, we've had all them players. I mean, Joe Matip had a dispute, didn't he, with Cameroon over playing.
Yeah.
But you know, we've had African players as well. And this is, you know, sometimes we've fell short because we've not had the player in. You know, we've lost two out of the 3 up front. So yeah, I mean, Nicholas Jackson, right? If he goes to Newcastle and, you know, like, it's the same argument, isn't it? He goes to Newcastle and, you know, Vissa goes to Newcastle. Yes, they both go to AFCON, but like, they've got a Shula. Like, can he manage for 7 games? Can he manage for 7 games with 6, 7 games with Gordon up front? Or, you know, you got to.
Yeah, they're missing them for the AFCON, but are they missing the real Isak for the season?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, what's better? Like, you miss a player for 6, 7 games, or
that wants to be there.
Yeah, genuinely wants to be there. Or you miss someone who, like, don't want to play there.
Exactly.
Out of curiosity, how many goals did Jackson get last season at Chelsea?
He got quite a few, you know. He had a good, very big purple patch.
What was the league?
I'm sure he got double figures in league. Might be close to double figures.
Was it 13?
I'm sure he got double figures in lead. I can't remember. Could
have been 13, you know.
I'll have a look after, but yeah.
Well, I mean, look, that's from Isak being a little bit, not Isak, from Jackson being a little bit of a player that sort of not favoured. Not favoured in like the Chelsea squad last year. But, like, you know, if you look at it now, like, if you're the main man at Newcastle, like, does he get more goals than 13? Yeah. So, I mean, he's got 22 goals last year. If Nicholas Jackson gets 15 goals next year, that's a great signing. It's a great
yeah.
You know,
nobody believes in Dan, says Tassie. We actually got Will Wright as well, remember? We did buy Will Wright as a striker.
Oh, and Leone. I did a video before, absolute pelters, because I forgot about some players.
We forgot we buy Will Wright. Will Wright has not even happened because we've never really spoke about it as buying Will Wright. No. Someone said up here, 1 second. Someone said up here before we do go. Where was it? Let's find it. Where was it? Someone said something about. 1 second, guys. Do apologise.
Yeah, apologies, me. I had to do like a full on.
Oh, there. Why is Wissa not good enough? He was wrong. I think it's not good. He's not good enough to. He is good enough to join Newcastle, but I think what Newcastle are worried about is the fact that he's not an out and out number 9, whilst Jackson is. Well, you could bring in Jackson on his own, and it'd be the Isak replacement. Whilst Wiss, I don't think would be. He's more of a forward, but he plays up front. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he got 19 goals last year, so what can you say?
Yeah, so he's more than good enough. More than good enough.
No,
Damon, what do you think will happen? The question of all questions, that's like the golden ticket question, isn't it? What will happen? Well, I think me and Nige quite agree on the situation. I think we both think we're signing both. But that's because Newcastle, I think that's too many bridges being burnt for that, for me to even think about going back into Newcastle. So there's no other option but to leave. And the Guéhi one, Parish has already said either sells in this summer for a fee or he gives him a new contract. And because I don't see him getting a new contract, the only other option there is selling him for free because he doesn't want to lose him for free next year. You know, that's what we do. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching on this breaking news. We've done a half an hour stream on the situation, and I wanted to give you the breaking news. We're back again later on for the match preview, so make sure you do join us live at 7:30, depending when I think it will be 7 o'clock normal time tonight for match preview for tomorrow's game, and also join us tomorrow night for the first watch along of the season. Newcastle versus Liverpool is going to be an absolute cracker. I can absolutely assure you that. Thank you for watching today, guys. Hope you all have a great rest of the day. Speak to you all tonight for the preview.